What's up, everyone? Dalton Hopkins with Frontstretch.com here. I am flanked to my right by my co-host for this video today, Phil Allaway. Phil, this is another end to another Watkins Glen race, the 40th annual one here, or maybe not annual, but the 40th Cup race here at Watkins Glen. Ends up with William Byron getting his 5th win of the year, his first road course win. Of course, Hendrick Motorsports getting their 5th consecutive win here at Watkins Glen. What do you make of it? I mean, he dominated. 66 laps led today.
Right on, man. In all honesty, Byron was one of the guys to beat the entire weekend. He was quick in practice. He qualified second. He was right there to capitalize when the unexpected happened. And once he got in the lead, pretty much nobody could touch him. You don't see that all that often here, but it can happen.
Yeah, it definitely did happen today. I mean, I think, so I put it out earlier, shortest race, time-wise, in the modern era today. First race in the modern era to go under Cup race to go under 2 hours. So definitely a pretty eventful, maybe uneventful race. I don't know if you would call it that.
It wasn't exactly anticlimax, but it seemed like nobody could do anything with Byron. Once he got in his groove, nobody could deal with his groove.
Yeah, yeah, it was Byron's new groove today. But so Byron gets the win, and then we had some guys, some playoff bubble drivers that were getting close to maybe getting that win that they desperately needed. We'll get to those here. So AJ Allmendinger, first off, you spoke with him, 4th place finisher, doing a sidebar on him. What do you make of him? Got so close to getting a win here today and just couldn't quite get there.
AJ struck me as very relaxed the entire weekend. Not just today, but Saturday as well. He felt that he didn't have any pressure on himself the whole weekend. His plan was to go out here, do the best he possibly can. If we win, hooray, we win. They didn't win, but they did their best. They didn't really make any mistakes out there. He felt that he was better than Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, but there's next to no tire fall off here since we still have relatively fresh pavement. And as a result, it was basically the 3 of them running together for most of the final 30-lap run and the finish. As it stands, he's up 2 spots to 19th. But he's more than 70 points behind Bubba, so he's got to win to get in Daytona.
It's going to all come down to Daytona next weekend, you're right. And then another driver that was pretty close, top 5 finish, Ty Gibbs. For him, another top 5 finish. And he had a pretty fast car today, couldn't quite seal the deal. And then, of course, there's Michael McDowell, who is, of course, in the playoffs, but he was actually probably what was really the most promising driver at the beginning of the event. I mean, it looked like he was probably going to be the favorite and took the lead early on lap 4, won stage 1, and then immediately after just had penalty, came back to the top 10, penalty, came back to the top 10, electrical failure. That put him out of the race. And a roller coaster day for him. That's our second sidebar. But I think the biggest story of the day has got to be Chase Elliott, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he runs out of fuel, which is just so odd in its own because you would think, Alan Gustafson would be able to kind of, he would be able to negotiate that a little bit better. And some people think, it's a little up in the air of whether or not it was just a miscalculation or if it was a mechanical failure. Jeff Gordon said it was a miscalculation. Phil, what did you make of that?
Well, in all honesty, a lot of people don't realize just how hilly Watkins Glen is. You run out of gas pretty much anywhere that's not coming out of the carousel, you're probably not getting back. He ran out way before that. Pretty much, if that happens, you're screwed. And it's sad, really. Chase didn't qualify all that great, but he had run himself into the top 10. He was having a decent day. Not where he needed to be, but a decent day, and he just ruined it. And because of that and no other cautions, he ended up in the 30s.
Yeah, we talked to Alan, or we got some quotes from Alan post-race. That's on Frontstretch.com and on our YouTube page. But basically said, yeah, they had a plan to win today, and they just miscalculated it. So it didn't turn out the way that they wanted to. They'll have to go to Daytona and fight for it. Well, Phil, it's another race here at Watkins Glen, another winner, but now we got next week at Daytona. So we hope you all stay tuned for next weekend. I'll be there, joined by Nick Tillwalk, my other co-host, but I'll be there Frontstretch will be there with all the coverage at Daytona International Speedway. Phil, go ahead and plug your stuff real quick. How do people follow you?
All right, man. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Critic84 at Twitter/X. I'm Troggle84 on Instagram and Threads. On Facebook, Writing of Phil Allaway. I post links to all my stuff there and randomness. You gotta love the randomness. And pretty much that's it. If you guys have questions for me, I'll be glad to answer them.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you in future articles. You also got Couch Potato Tuesday coming up this week, and I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about there.
Yeah. It'll be a rewatch when I get home because obviously I was busy covering the action here today. But we're going to be looking at how NBC loves the radio-style broadcasts. And this week they had the Bag Man over there in the S's. And it's a different setup. Basically, you have to learn how to basically bring in your outside guys who are... I guess Bagley was in the S's, Jeff Burton was in turn number 6/10, depending on who you ask, and Dale Jr. was in 5/9. Basically, it's a little harder, it's a little more work for Rick, but it's an interesting way to go about things. It's something that ESPN liked to do in the early 90s. Of course, back then you had more access. So you had a situation in 90 where Benny Parsons literally walked down the entire length of the front stretch to turn 7 over there, and then had an interview with Hut Strickland and Cyril Vandermerve after they both wrecked. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I recommend checking that out. I think it's on the new NASCAR Classics.
Probably is. I was going to say, it's probably on that new website, the NASCAR Classics website.
I do believe so. There's good stuff on there. Don't go there if you don't have a lot of time because it is a rabbit hole.
Well, everybody, Phil Allaway, Dalton Hopkins, signing off here from Watkins Glen. Thanks for watching. Check us out next week in Daytona International Speedway. We'll cover the playoff cut race, the end of the regular season, and we're being heckled from the sidelines by Frontstretch alumni Zach Sterniolo and Dustin Albino. But thanks, guys. But thanks for watching. We're signing off. Check us out next week in Daytona International Speedway, and thanks for watching.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.